What's up, guys? I'm Heidi, and today I am going to be giving relationship advice to the people of Reddit. If you would like me to give you some relationship advice, I've got an email linked down in the description. Send me your relationship problems, and I will tell you how to fix them. Alright, let's get into it. I, male 31, found condom wrappers in my female 34 girlfriend's bed. We don't use condoms. Throwaway account. Hello everyone, we've been dating for 7 months. I'm so lost, I don't know what to do. As the title states, I found a piece of the wrapper this morning poking me as we were finishing up. Ooh, that is awkward. I felt something grabbed it and knew. I went silent immediately. She asked what was wrong, and I just told her that I was thinking about work stuff and spaced out. Her roommate, female 34, who has been my friend for the last decade, is out of town, so my girlfriend could have brought someone over. I don't know. I got up later and went to the bathroom and dug through the trash. There was no sign of a used condom anywhere. She had thrown out the trash, which is odd. It's usually semi-full when I get there. Okay, we never use condoms. Recently, we went on a trip and she bought a box to use on this trip for easier cleanup. Makes sense. We did not open the box and she took them home. Okay, so there are 4 condoms left in the box that she had bought for them to use on a weekend getaway, but they had not used it on their getaway. Also, important detail I left out, I told her I loved her for the first time minutes before finding the condom wrapper. Okay. And she said that she loved him back. Any advice is welcome. I feel numb, not fight or flight, just numb. Okay. Advice for you. Talk to your girlfriend. Ask her. Honestly, don't ask her. Show her. You will know almost immediately by the look in her face. Is she surprised? Like, what the heck? I don't know how that could have gotten there. Or is she guilt surprised? Like, oh no, you found out. What do I do now? Like, it's really not that difficult. If you're convinced, if you, like, no one else ever sleeps in her bed. Like you said, she has a roommate. If they never, like, swap beds or anything, you know, and you know, like, you've only been in this relationship for 7 months. If it had been longer, I would say, like, hey, talk it out, maybe figure out whether or not you want to get past this, but it's only been 7 months. Confront her about it, and then, unless she somehow has, like, a good explanation, leave. Okay. Let's read a few comments. Trick said, you ask her point blank and watch her reaction. Exactly what I said. If she doesn't have an explanation instantly, she cheated. Yeah, pretty much. Someone else said, and if she hesitates a little and says she used it on a sex toy or a banana?
Ugh. Brother, ugh.
And the explanation of her hesitation is that according to her, she was ashamed. What's your conclusion? Like, honestly, I would rethink the relationship one way or the other. On a banana. Alright, moving on to the next one. I, 29 female, am planning to leave my completely financially dependent and toxic partner, 34 male. How do I warn him that he needs to get it together? That's a very odd way of phrasing it, but let's hear her out. My partner and I moved out of our home state 4 years ago when I got a job. He has not had a job since, and I struggle significantly to get all of our bills paid. Well, yeah, because generally speaking, in today's economy, you kind of need 2 incomes. And Sometimes you're fortunate enough to have one person have a high enough income that if, for example, you have children, the other person can stay at home, take care of the kids. But so far, it doesn't seem like that's the case. It seems like he's just loafing around and bumming off of her, which is like not a good sign. He spends $100 or more a week on weed, which makes it more difficult. Well, that would explain why he doesn't have a job. He complains about my cooking. He doesn't cook. We often eat out, which, again, in today's day and age, is more expensive. He gets in very foul moods where he slams things, yells, calls me names, etc. I don't like when people call their significant other names. I understand sometimes you get heated. In the heat of the moment, you say nasty things. But going so far as to make personal attacks out loud, I feel like that says a lot more about the person making that attack. But we will continue. At the beginning of April, I told him I don't want to be with him anymore. I also told him if he reacted aggressively to my feelings, I would plan to leave him without warning. Okay, fair. He reacted aggressively by slamming things, and then I decided to work outside of the apartment because he was being so loud and I work from home. I mean, that's fair, and he's honestly probably more upset about losing his lunch ticket than he is about losing you at this point. He found the cubicle where I was working in our building, barged in, got in my face, and called me a whore. Whore, among other things. When I made the comments in April, I promised myself that I would leave. Yeah, girl, get out. This guy sucks. Like, Reddit is always so quick to be like, divorce. Divorce, divorce, divorce. And I'm always like, okay, settle down, Reddit. But I honestly do think in this case, you should probably leave. My partner. Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're married. Yeah, so it's not divorce. It's just breaking up. There's no lawyers involved. Leave. I believe that part of the reason he reacts so negatively to me saying these things is because it means he will lose his access to free housing and food. Exactly. Again, he's just leeching off of you. My partner will be out of town for a week or less this summer, and I plan to pack up and leave then. Makes sense. I don't know how to go about this and what I should say, if anything, given his previous reactions. My therapist connected me with a domestic violence organization who is going to help me break my lease. I don't know how to go about telling him he needs to start taking action to support himself, given his reaction in the past. Okay, I think I understand the title now, which is that she wants to give him a heads up because once she's gone, he's gonna be homeless, and he's gonna be someone who's homeless with a marijuana addiction. So he's gonna be quite irate. He will not know where I'm going. Good. However, he does know where my mom lives, and that kind of freaks me out. Yeah, that's not so good. Also, things are generally amicable as long as I don't bring up breaking up. Yeah, because he's dependent on you. So he's willing to, like, be nice to you as long as he's going to continue getting his free meal ticket. But then as soon as there's any threat of that being taken away, he just lashes out. But what you wanted advice on was, how do you subtly tell him that he needs to start acting like a man and taking care of himself? Honestly, you don't. Like, you've already given him the warning, you gave him the heads up, you told him that you are going to break up with him. You told him that if he was aggressive, you would do it without warning. And now I think it's just time to follow through with that. Let's see what Reddit had to say. Blingy Bleep says, do not tell him. You are not responsible for him. Take your important documents and anything you want to keep. Don't let him see you packing, and get the heck out of there when he's not around. Which, in this instance, I would agree. That seems to be the best idea. Yeah, it seems to be the consensus. Someone else said, do not tell him. He's had years to take action to support himself. He didn't. Yeah, I mean, that's basically all there is to it with this. All right, the next one is about someone who's struggling with insecurity. So that's always fun. I, 31 female, am feeling like my husband, 33 male, settled. Alright, my husband and I have been together for 7 years, married for 4, and they have 3 kids. Okay, sounds good so far. I love that for them. He's had a female best friend who's 33, so his age, for well over a decade. They aren't as close as they used to be. Makes sense. It's hard to have a platonic opposite sex relationship after you're married, even before you're married, but at any point, like if you're both attracted to the opposite sex, there's just too much risk of catching feelings for each other. My husband's best friend messaged him asking, did he propose to me because I'm the love of his life or because he knew I wanted to be married? Like, was marriage a dream of his, or was he just making sure that I got what I wanted as far as being married? Let's see what he said. His reply was, well, I thought I was gonna marry you. So yeah, I always wanted to get married, lol. Why is he still friends with her? I have so much wrong with this, but moving on. When my wife and I started dating, I fell in love. Okay, that's good. I knew I wanted to marry her after our first date. Aw, okay, never mind. That's so nice. So the first part really does seem like it's a joke. She's just like, hey, like, did you actually want to get married, or did you just marry your wife because she wanted to get married? And he's like, well, I thought I wanted to marry you when we were young, so yeah, I always wanted to get married. But all kidding aside, I fell in love with my wife. I already knew I wanted to marry her after our first date, so yeah, that's adorable. I love that. She then replies, really? LOL. Well, we were super close, so I probably would have been open to it, but I never took it there because I didn't want to lose a great friend. Don't say that. Do not say that right now. Don't. If you're in this friend's situation, even if the other friend admits that he had initially liked you and wanted to marry you, you do not then be like, oh, well, you know, I would have been open to it. You are opening the door to cheating. Do you want to be a homewrecker? Like, obviously it's his fault too if the cheating happens, but like, no, you do not. Trust me, you don't. That got me worked up. I've been spaced out since I've seen the messages. Any advice on what to do from here is appreciated. Alright, there is an update / more info, so my question may be answered, but my question here is, how did you see these messages? Did your husband show them to you, or did you just happen to see them? Because that is huge. But let's see, update / more info. She asked the question because her fiance / now husband, okay, she is like married now, okay, only wanted to get married because that's what she wanted. That really sucks for her, because I do know so many of those marriages, unfortunately, do not last. If you got a shut up ring, basically, like, you got engaged because you really wanted it and he wanted you to shut up. If you got married because you really wanted it and he wanted you to shut up, those marriages don't usually do very well, unfortunately. Anyway. He feels marriage is just a piece of paper or whatever guys say when they don't want a marriage title. Yeah. Like, There are very few people that don't want to get married that use the, oh, it's because it's just a piece of paper. It's like, why do I care what the government thinks? That, actually, that's the reason. Because here's the thing. If that was actually all you cared about, you could have just like a cute little private ceremony and exchanging of rings, still call yourselves married, and you don't even have to technically get married. You don't have to have the piece of paper, the government marriage, if you don't want to. But that's so rarely what it's actually about. This person feels like the husband's settled. I don't think so. I genuinely do not think that your husband's settled. I do think that he had and potentially still has feelings for this other woman, and he was okay with that. He had just accepted that, like, hey, I'll always have a little bit of feelings towards her, but it's fine because she doesn't feel the same way, so I can be around her without it being awkward. But now she just admitted that she did feel the same way, potentially still does, so that makes the whole thing so much more awkward. I honestly think it's... you don't want to tell your spouse who to be friends with, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, there probably should be some more distance between your husband and his female friend, because that whole thing is just going to be awkward and just potential for cheating from this point onward. Let's see what the Redditors had to say. Someone said, I knew I wanted to marry her after our first date. Doesn't sound like settling. It sounds like he had feelings for his friend in the past, got over it, then met you and fell in love. Having past relationships and past crushes doesn't mean that someone's settled. This is very true, and I am very happy that this person pointed it out. I fully agree. Your husband did not settle. He had feelings for this other friend in the past, and again, even if he still has them, like, he had put those to rest, and he was totally okay with that, and whatever feelings he may have held on to for her do not change the feelings that he has for you, and he loves you, number one. But I would still like distance from that friend. Someone else said, I could see why there's parts of what's going on that you don't like. He literally said he fell in love with you right away, and now you're married with kids, and his best friend is fishing and wondering if she could have had the life you have now. Yeah, I think the friend is genuinely jealous and kind of having regrets. And I think it may actually just genuinely being, she wanted to know if it was normal for a man to only get married because that's what the woman wanted. She wanted validation in that, because if your husband had been like, oh yeah, of course I only married my wife because she wanted to get married, then she would have felt so much better about her own situation. She would have been like, oh, that's just how it goes. Guys only get married because the girl wants to. But now she's going to feel a lot worse about her own relationship, realizing that, like, no, most guys that get married want to get married. Like, the ones that actually have good long-lasting marriages. So yeah, it sucks for the friend. I would still say distance there, but as for you, girl, you got nothing to worry about. Your husband did not settle for you, not even a little bit. Alright, I think that's enough advice for one day. Thanks so much for watching. Again, if you have anything that you would like advice on, just drop it down in the email or in the comments below, honestly. But if you want it a bit more private, I got the email listed below. You can send it there, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.